Welcome to lesson 4 of Learn Esperanto the easy-ish way. Here are some more family words. Friend is amiko, amiko. Imagine that I make friends very easily, amiko. Neighbour is najbaro, najbaro. Imagine that all of your neighbours are celebrities, najbaro. Family is familio, familio. Imagine that everyone in your family is a rich celebrity except you, familio. Relative is parenco, parenco. This word means relative and not parent. So imagine that your parents have invited thousands of their relatives to visit, all at the same time. Parenco. We've been using a star or a celebrity as a symbol for two words that sound alike in English and Esperanto. There are a number of Esperanto words which sound like a similar English word. For example, the word for child is infano, which sounds a lot like infant. You can use the star symbol to remember these words too. So, child is infano, infano. Imagine that your children are already famous celebrities, infano. Baby is bebo, bebo. Imagine that you collect embarrassing pictures of celebrities from when they were babies, bebo. Brother is frato, frato. Imagine that all your brothers are members of a secret fraternity, frato. Of course, if brother is frato, then sister must be fratino, fratino. What is the English for frato? Brother for fratino, sister for bebo, baby for infano, child for parenco, relative for familio, family for najbaro, neighbour for amiko, friend. How do you say in Esperanto brother? Frato, sister. Fratino, baby. Bebo, child. Infano, relative. Parenco, family. Familio, neighbour. Najbaro, friend. Amiko. How do you say the friend eats? La amiko manĝas. The friend is eating. La amiko manĝas. The neighbour drinks. La najbaro trinkas. The neighbour is drinking. La najbaro trinkas. The family doesn't read. La familio ne legas. The relative isn't reading. La parenco ne legas. The brother goes. La frato iras. The brother went. La frato iris. The sister writes. La fratino skribas. The sister was writing. La fratino skribis. The doctor didn't come. La kuracisto ne venis. The waiter wasn't coming. La kelnero ne venis. The father and the mother. La patro kai la patrino. The son or the daughter. La filo au la filino. Now we'll learn how to say I want to eat, I want to go, I want to read, and so on. Firstly, you've seen that the Esperanto word for eat changes its ending depending on whether you're talking about something that's happening now or in the past. Eat is manĝas, ate is manĝis. In Esperanto, to eat is translated by a single word. That word ends with the letter I. To eat is manĝi. The E ending is the equivalent of the English word to. Here are some other examples. Goes is iras. To go is iri. Reads is legas. To read is legi. How do you say sees? Vidas. To see. Vidi. Hears. Audas. To hear. Audi. The word for I, as in I want to see, is me. Me means I. It doesn't mean me as in you can see me. The word for want is volas. Volas. If you like, you can imagine a small child who follows you everywhere because they want something. Volas. How do you say I want? Mi volas. I want to see. Mi volas vidi. I want to hear. Mi volas hodi. I want to drink. Mi volas trinki. The child is big. La infano estas granda. The baby is not big. La bebo ne estas granda. In Esperanto, I don't want is mi ne volas. You literally say, I not want. How do you say, I don't want? Mi ne volas. I don't want to see. Mi ne volas vidi. I don't want to eat. Mi ne volas mangi. I want to write. Mi volas skribi. The word for you is vi. Vi. How do you say you want? Vi volas. You want to see. Vi volas vidi. You don't want. Vi ne volas. You don't want to hear. Vi ne volas audi. I want to go, but you don't want to come. Mi volas iri, sed vi ne volas veni. Here are some more useful verbs. When you look up a verb in an Esperanto dictionary, you'll notice that it always has the e ending. You'll find mangi, meaning to eat, but not manjas, meaning eat. From now on, we'll use the e ending when learning new verbs. Since they all have the same ending, you don't need to include the e sound in your images. So, to have is havi. Havi. Imagine that in your pocket you have a photo of yourself with a celebrity. Havi. To keep is teni. Teni. Imagine that you give away most of your fortune, but you keep £10 or dollars. Teni. To close is fermi. Fermi. Imagine that you close every door and every window very firmly. Fermi. Since fermi means to close, the word for to open must be malfermi. Malfermi. To say is diri. Diri. Imagine saying something to a deer. Diri. To understand is kompreni. Kompreni. This sounds like the English word comprehend, so imagine that it's very difficult to understand the speaking celebrity. kompreni. To ask is demandi. Demandi. Imagine demanding to be allowed to ask a question. Demandi. To answer is respondi. Respondi. This sounds like the English word respond, so imagine that the celebrity refuses to answer your telephone calls. Respondi. What is the English for respondi? To answer for demandi. To ask for kompreni. To understand for diri. To say for fermi. To close for malfermi. To open for teni. To keep for havi. To have. How do you say in Esperanto to answer? Respondi. To ask. Demandi. To understand. Kompreni. To say. Diri. To close. Fermi. To open. Malfermi. To keep. Teni. To have. Havi. The word for it, as in eat it or drink it, is gene. Gene. How do you say, I want it? Mi volas gene. I don't want it. Mi ne volas gin. I say it. Mi diras gin. I want to say it. Mi volas diri gin. I understand it. Mi komprenas gin. I want to understand it. Mi volas kompreni gin. I close it. Mi fermas gin. I want to close it. Mi volas fermi gin. I don't want to close it. Mi ne volas fermi gin. I want to open it. Mi volas malfermi gin. You have it and you want to keep it. Vi havas gin, kai vi volas teni gin. The Esperanto for I can is mi povas. Mi povas. If you like, you can imagine that you can huff and puff as well as any wolf. Mi povas. In English we say, I want to see, but we don't say, I can to see. We just say, I can see. After I want or I can, the word for see is vidi. Vidi. So, I want to see is mi volas vidi. I can see is mi povas vidi. How do you say I ask? Mi demandas. I want to ask. Mi volas demandi. I can ask. Mi povas demandi. You can answer. Vi povas respondi. I want to keep it. Mi volas teni ĝin. I don't want to keep it. Mi ne volas teni ĝin. The opposite of I can is I cannot or I can't. In Esperanto, I cannot or I can't is mi ne povas. You literally say I not can. How do you say I can? Mi povas. I can't. Mi ne povas. I can understand. Mi povas kompreni. I can't understand. Mi ne povas kompreni. You can. Vi povas. You can close it. Vi povas fermi ĝin. You can't close it. Vi ne povas fermi ĝin. I can open it. Mi povas malfermi ĝin. Now we get to the clever bit. In Esperanto, the word for it, as in see it or hear it, is ĝin. If you want to be more precise and say see the dog or hear the dog, then the word for dog adds the same n ending. So I can see it is mi povas vidi ĝin. I can see the dog is mi povas vidi la hundon. In Esperanto, whenever you see something or hear something or have something or want something, the word for the something adds the ending n. How do you say I see it? Mi vidas ĝin. I see the animal. Mi vidas la beston. I hear it. Mi aŭdas ĝin. I hear the bird. Mi aŭdas la birdon. I want it. Mi volas ĝin. I want the table. Mi volas la tablon. You want it. Vi volas ĝin. You want a chair. Vi volas seĝon. I want to see it. Mi volas vidi ĝin. I want to see the dog. Mi volas vidi la hundon. I don't want to see the dog. Mi ne volas vidi la hundon. I can see it. Mi povas vidi ĝin. You can see the cat. Vi povas vidi la katon. You can't see the cat. Vi ne povas vidi la katon. This course doesn't use a lot of long words that only trained linguists will recognize. On the other hand, it would be unfair to make those of you who are linguists wade through material that you already understand. If you don't recognize the terms in the white panels, you can safely ignore them. Our first experienced linguist note is this. The N ending is added to the direct object of a sentence, and this applies to both nouns and pronouns. By the way, there are two special uses of the N ending that complicate this picture, but we won't get to them for a while yet. How do you say the happy babies? La feliĉaj beboj. The babies are happy. La beboj estas feliĉaj. The child was quick. La infano estis rapida. The children were quick. La infanoj estis rapidaj. The friends go. La amikoj iras. The friends went. La amikoj iris. The neighbours are coming. La najbaroj venas. The relatives were coming. La parencoj venis. Here are some very useful words. Now is nun. Noon. Imagine that you can't wait until noon. You want it right now. Noon. Already is yam. Yam. Imagine that you have already eaten a lot of yams. Yam. Today is hodiaŭ. Hodiaŭ. Imagine that today you are hosting a hoedown. Hodiaŭ. Here is ci tie, ci tie. Imagine that there is a cheetah here, ci tie. There is tie, tie. Imagine that a tear is forming in your eye because of what is happening over there. Tie. What is the English for tie? There for ci tie. Here for hodiaŭ. Today for jam. Already for nun. Now. How do you say in Esperanto there? Tie. Here. Ci tie. Today. Hodiaŭ. Already. Jam. Now. Nun. How do you say the brother is there? La frato estas tie. The sister is here. La fratino estas ci tie. I want it. Mi volas ĝin. I want it now. Mi volas ĝin nun. I have it already. Mi havas ĝin jam. You can say it today. Vi povas diri ĝin hodiaŭ. I can't answer now. Mi ne povas respondi nun. I don't want to ask. Mi ne volas demandi. The family are not here today because I already have it and I want to keep it. La familio ne estas ĉi tie hodiaŭ, ĉar mi jam havas ĝin kaj mi volas teni ĝin. And that's the end of lesson 4.